Hello and welcome to this week's Craft and Chat. I'm Amanda Fowler. Thank you so much for joining me today, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. I can see you've got some people here already, which is awesome. So hello to Therese, who's here from France, Lorraine, who's here from Australia, Liz, who's here from soggy Scotland. Bless you. Soggy down south as well. And Scylla, wet and miserable Hampshire. Yeah, that's where I am. So, how are we today? I've got a mouse issue. Thankfully, not a furry mouse issue, but a mouse issue. So, yeah, I have two mice, one upstairs, one downstairs for my computers, and one of them has given up the ghost. So I just thought, well, I'll just bring the one from downstairs upstairs. That'll be fine. It doesn't mouse upstairs. So, so needless to say, I've just spent a few minutes trying to figure it out. Can't figure it out. So I'm going to have to kind of go over here and mess around with the trackpad. So, so if I'm looking over there, you know, I'm mousing. So Michelle is here. Hello, hello. And Lorraine is here. Oh, it's very windy. Okay. So I'm guessing then that's coming our way, Lorraine. Dawn. Because you're west of us, aren't you? And the weather comes in from the west. Dawn. So how is the rest of the world doing with weather? Because I know it's kind of as everyone's kind of said so far, it's wet and windy. We've got another storm inbound, and where we are on the south coast, just a few miles along, they've got all kinds of flood warnings in place as well, because there's the storm's coming in, but it's a high tide as well, so that causes all kinds of issues. The joys of living by the sea. So are we keeping well? I've got so many things to tell you. Every time I think, oh, it's nice and quiet and nice and calm, it just goes crazy again. So Stampin' Up announced this morning that we've got a free shipping offer starting tomorrow. So if you want things for Christmas, Stampin' Up is actually saying today is the last day for shipping for Christmas. But free shipping starts tomorrow. So you know what I would do? I would run the risk, actually, of it not arriving in time for Christmas, and take the free shipping. So the free shipping is £60 for my UK friends. My European friends, I think it's €75. But what you need to do is take advantage of the free shipping, bump your order to £70. Because then you can get product of the month. Now, product of the month is new, but I've got it here to show you. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to turn it back to me in a minute. But I just want to show you what this product of the month is. So, for the next year, Stampin' Up are going to release a product of the month. And the product of the month costs £5 when you've placed, or when you are in the process of placing, a £70 order or more. So basically, £70 is your qualifying amount. And then if you want the product of the month, you don't have to have it. If you want it, you can select it and pay the extra £5. Now, it's going to be different every month. December it's called True Blue Florals. Guess who's really happy about that? so if you're new here, Amanda loves blue. Okay. I would only make blue cards given the choice. I'd only wear blue. I have actually got, there is blue. The rest of me is blue. I wear blue all the time. Yeah. So blue paper is absolutely my jam. So I want to show it to you because it's never the same, is it, on the computer screen? And I she says, showing it to you on a computer screen, you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. It's better when you can see it kind of in its entirety. So let me just switch this. Oh, I'm trying to mouse again. If you've only just joined us, my mouse isn't working, so I'm having to do things all kind of weirdly. So bear with me. Try that. Yay. Okay. So this is the paper. So it's a standard paper pack. So it's 12 sheets of 12 by 12 and 2 sheets each of 6 different designs. So the colors are really straightforward. It is Night of Navy. Ooh. Balmy blue and basic white. So there's only 2 colors in white. So the patterns are geometric style on one side and then florals and leaves on the other. But like this geometric pattern is actually leaves and flowers. Just bring it up and look at that. I would have my house wallpapered in that. In fact, I'm going to see now if I can find a wallpaper like that. It's so cool. Okay, so that's one of the leaf patterns. So you've got the Night of Navy and white there. And then you've got, again, another kind of geometric tile style pattern. Little leaves. That'd make another good wallpaper. Oh, love that. Then you've got some tonal papers. And then again, some kind of contrasting. So you've got the dark blue leaves and then tiny blue flowers. So that's like a balmy blue version of the one that I said would make a good wallpaper. And look at that. So that is beautiful. So bear in mind, our normal paper packs are about £12. This comes for £5. So it's really good value. But more importantly than the fact that it's good value, these patterns are so beautiful and so easy to work with. So yeah, you need to add that to your world. Let me just switch this camera around again, and then I can show you some of the other things I've got to show you today. Let's see. Yay, I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to pop that away in its little case. There we go. Okay, so that's the first thing. So the next thing is the free shipping. We've got like hundreds of things on the last chance list as well. So I know many of you have already done all of your Christmas making and Christmas card making, although I dare say there's a few of you that haven't. So do let me know. Let me know whether you are all done with your Christmas makes or if you are still busily making. I'm actually still busily knitting something. I have no idea whether it's going to be finished, but we'll see. Anyway, everything else is done. But yeah, sometimes time gets away from you, doesn't it? But I wanted to show you some of the things that are on the last chance list, because as always, there are many bargains to be had. So let me just grab. Got to grab that as well. Okay, so this pressed flowers, you're going to actually see it's an embossing folder. You're going to see it on on a project I'm going to be making in a little while, so you'll actually see it. But this is £5, £5.12 actually, but it's half price, and it's such a beautiful, really, really detailed embossing folder. There are lots of stamp sets that are quite reduced. So this one, Impressions of Bloom, this one is £11, £11.40. Those of you that did the Christmas retreat, you will have this already, but this one is it's reduced by £2, so it's £18. But I noticed the other day when I was placing an order for a customer that the item number has changed. Now, the item number changing means, I'm just looking to see if I've got one in here. I don't think I have. The item number changing, the stamp set item number changing, means it'll be coming in the new packaging. So we have talked about this quite a bit, that the stamp sets and the dies are coming in different packaging that looks like this. That's a sneak peek. This is coming in January. We're going to be using this a lot. But it's coming in this packaging. So although this is on the retired list or the last chance list, and it's reduced, it will be coming in the new packaging. So be aware, you might not get DVD cases with your stamps when you're placing your orders. Let's have a look. And there's also quite a lot of things that were bundles that have now, the dies have actually sold out, and there's just stamps left. So that's this one, this Sunrise Sailing, really beautiful stamp set. The dies are actually sold out now, but this stamp set is only £13. So be aware, if things come in a bundle, you need to look at the individual prices of the stamps and the dies, because sometimes it's cheaper to buy the stamps and the dies because they're both reduced. Whereas for some reason, I don't understand why Stampin' Up doesn't apply those two reductions to the bundle price, but for some reason it just doesn't do it. So you have to pay for them separately to get the maximum discount, which obviously that's what we want. Okay, another £13 stamp set is this one, which I have used a huge amount this autumn. It's a really beautiful stamp set. And then I'm going to be using this a bit later. So this is the beautiful butterflies. So it's an embossing folder. It's like a hybrid. So it's got dies as well that cut out, and the stamp set. So the dies are £20, which is a huge reduction, and the stamps are £13. So really good to really good reduction there. Okay, so Lorraine's saying that her computer's buffering. Is anyone else having any problems? Can you let me know? Donna's here. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. Mum's here. Pauline. Hello, hello. Therese saying there's no sun, no rain. Oh no. Well, at least there's no rain, Therese. I don't know, Lorraine. We will see. Sometimes it's really weird. It does depend on where you are in the world sometimes, and it also depends on the local Wi-Fi, and sometimes, yeah. So it was buffering for Donna as well, but not for Lorraine. So yeah, it's tricky. You know, it always astounds me with you know, I'm sat here in my house in Fareham in Hampshire, and I'm talking to people all around the world, and the fact that I can do that is incredible. So Scylla's saying I keep freezing, but not for long. Okay. I am just going to try something. Let's see. No, I can't change that. Okay. So sometimes it's to do with the settings that I've got with my computer. I'm just seeing. No, so I can't change anything because we're live. Okay, let me know if it particularly in a minute when we start crafting, if it starts to cause you real problems, let me know. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I've got something really pretty to show you. I've been receiving things in the post. I love this time of year because I get things to show you. So this has come from Roz. Roz has been busy moving house, but she's finally got her crafty stuff together. So she sent me this lovely Christmas card. Then we have this lovely Christmas card from Alison. And when you see it in a minute, you're going to be amazed. Hang on, let me just pull that. When you see the inside. So I'm hoping that Alison won't mind. I'm going to figure out the measurements and share this with you. So look, it opens up like that and it opens up like that. Obviously, I've put a little post-it note over her message. But so that tucks in like that and like that. Isn't that so cool? Okay, so there's another one. And then this one has come in from Sally. Really pretty. And then this one, I think Elizabeth's here actually. This one came with a gift, which obviously is under the tree. But look at this beautiful card. Hang on, let's zoom it in. There we go. You can see it, but wait until you see the inside. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Ta-da! Thank you so much. It was inspired by Sam Calcott, says Elizabeth, but thank you so much. So they're all going on my window ledges, which is very cool. So thank you very much for that. Donna's saying she's going to email me a virtual Christmas card. Absolutely. Ray's saying she's going out and coming back in. It's like exercise. Yeah, that's not ideal though. Not ideal, is it? Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to start doing some crafting. And when I was writing the little bit of blurb to go into YouTube, I actually put in the words, which is the way the technique is explained, and then realize that you know that's not going to do my algorithm any good at all. So the technique that I'm going to talk to you about is something called gutting, which sounds awful, but it's a way of maximizing your pattern paper and cards. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I've got a couple of cards to make, so we will figure it out together. But maybe you know it as a different term, perhaps. So we will. If you do, then you have to tell me. So let me just flip this all around. Get started again. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to put those back in there. Oh. Honestly, I've got this. Look, there's so much stuff. I'm only making 2 cards. You would think I'm making a class full. So what we're going to do first is we are going to make a Christmas card. Traditional labels, this is in the last chance list. You can tell whenever I'm showing you things, if it's got a little red heart on it, it's in the last chance list. And I have to say, I know we have lots of international friends here. The last chance list in the 3 markets that Stamping Up operates in is different, in the sense of the stock levels are different. The actual products themselves are retired across the board globally. But the reality is that in some markets, some things sell out quickly, and in other markets, they hang around. So the best place to find out whether or not it's available is the Stampin' Up website. So depending on where you are and what you're looking for, it may or may not be available. But this is how I know that they are retiring. So I leave them on my shelf until they've actually gone. But it just means then that I know. So using Winter Scenes traditional labels and some punches for this first card. Lots of punches. Early espresso ink. What else have we got? Cardstock, crumb cake. Ooh, a water painter, linen thread. Okay, so it's one of my favorite things out of the last catalogue. Early espresso thread and old olive linen thread. I'm not actually sure whether that's retiring as well. I hope not. So hang on, let me just look. So let me just look. Early espresso. No, it's not. So good. So you all need to buy this so that it stays in the catalogue. Keep buying it. Anyway, I'm using the early espresso one today. I think, is that everything? Da-da-da. Yeah, so that's the happy birthday stamp. Okay, right. What a mess. What a mess. So what exactly, Amanda, is gutting? So gutting means that we are taking the guts or the inside out of a piece of cardstock. And when you think of a card that has layers on it, so let me just grab one from my display. Ooh, my display behind me. Hang on. That just all fell apart. Ooh, look, that just fell off. Hang on. Let me just repair that. That would be sad, look. Let me just pop that down. Okay. So when you've got a layered card, you have got cardstock that you can't see or patterned paper that you can't see because it's behind another layer. Now, that's a shame because you could use that cardstock on a different project or that pattern paper on a different project. And it's not a waste of cardstock or paper, but it also makes your cards heavier. So if you are the sort of person that likes 72 layers on your cards, they can get really quite heavy. And not only is that sort of a postage issue, but also it's a falling over issue. So if you've got so many layers on the front, sometimes your cards will tip forwards. So you can, so here's another tip for you. If that happens to you, you can always on the inside do like a double layer, and that will help put more weight on the back of the card, and then it will be more stable. But what I'm going to show you is some different ways of how you can gut or maximize the cardstock. So the first way that I'm going to show you is by using punches. So this card is going to have this stamp on it. So okay. I will show you in a minute. So that card's going to have that stamped and punched, but I want a matte layer. So the way this is going to be assembled is I've got a crumb cake card, I've got an early espresso layer, and then I've got another crumb cake layer. So here, this early espresso layer, there's that whole section there that nobody's ever going to see. So what I'm going to do is take a punch and punch out the matte layer that I need for my card. Now, nobody is ever going to know that that layer has got a hole in it. And in actual fact, quite often what I'm doing at the moment, because I love this new triple banner punch, is I'm also using that as well. And then I'm just putting these in a little dish. So I've got them for different projects later on. So there we go. So I've got two shapes out of there. And then this piece is going to go over the top and nobody's ever going to know. And I've got these for other cards. So let's do the stamping. So let me get my early espresso. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment first. So I'm going to pop down the photopolymer stamp. So let's pop that there. To pop down the happy. And then the Christmas. There we go. And with the magic of TV, here's one I've embossed. So this is the birchwood embossing folder, but I've stamped and embossed it. That's the right one because that one's central. Look at that one. It's kind of all off to the side. Yeah, so that's the one we're going to use. And then I'm going to stamp and punch my little image here, because this is a scrap now. There we go. Okay. So I've got the little image, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water brush and just paint over the trees with a tiny bit of water and a little bit over the mountains. And it just gives it a little bit more definition. So we've got that. We need to stamp the inside. So I haven't re-inked the stamp. So this is like a second generation stamp for the inside. And then we can layer everything up. So here's our gutted piece. And then we're going to use a tape runner to put our early espresso linen thread on there. Oh, I've got a knot in it. Hang on. That won't be any good. Donna's saying the cards, very talented people. They absolutely are. I love seeing other people's projects, and I know it's not always easy to post things, so I do love also to get pictures of cards. So do show me some. I'd love to see what you've made. Okay, so I've got my linen thread on there. Let's get some dimensionals. Now I'm using black dimensionals because this is early espresso card, and it's just I use these quite often with black card, early espresso card, the Night of Navy, Secret Sea, anything that's dark, because it kind of becomes invisible. So if you can see, that's obviously white. And if I put a white dimensional on it, you would see it quite a lot. Whereas now with the black ones, you don't see it as much. And the thing is, with the black dimensionals, they Stampin' Up sell 2 packs of the 2 sheets of the big ones and 2 sheets of the little ones. And I really wish that they did that for the white ones as well, because it just means that you get the different sizes. But with the black ones, you get mixed. Okay, so we're going to layer everything up. Now, normally I would stick this one to this one and then this one to this one. The problem is, because this has obviously got so many holes in it, it's better to stick this down first. So you can just kind of go in the gaps. And obviously I'm showing you today this with card making. But if you're scrapbooking, this is such a good technique with your scrapbooks, because you often have huge areas of card and paper that you can't see because it's hidden behind something else. So it's much better to have a gutted piece. Let's pop that on the inside. Like so. And then that one is done. Okay, so obviously I've taken this circle out of that early espresso and these pieces as well. So that's really cool. So that's one way of doing it. So you're doing that with punches. You can also, let's just take this scrap. Oh no, you can't see it because it's the wrong color. Hang on. Okay, let me use I'm not sure whether white or crumb cake will stand out. Actually the crumb cake will stand out on the trimmer. So your other option with this is to actually cut it in its entirety. I am going to show you on the white one because I want to show you the whole thing. So you need to make sure that you leave sufficient edge so that you can't see where you've cut. So I give myself about 1/2 inch, which is a centimetre, a little bit over a centimetre. And what you can do is cut down. And this is how you do it for scrapbooking. So I'm cut down like that. Put it in the trimmer. Cut up. Put it in again. Ooh. This, you have to be a bit more kind of precise with this. Or obviously you could use a craft knife as well. And then basically you end up with a frame. And then you've got this whole piece. So imagine that if you're doing it on a 12 by 12 for a scrapbook page, or, you know, that's a lot of cardstock that you've now got that you didn't have before because it would have gone under the layer. So you can do that as well. So you can use your trimmer to cut a frame. You can use your punches. This second card, I'm actually going to show you using dies. You do have to be quite precise with what you're doing with dies because it's really easy to put it in the wrong place. So let me just pop that to one side. Okay, so let's get some pieces out. I've got some gems. So the paper that I'm using is actually the 6 by 6 paper pack. This is the Brights, and it's got flowers and splodges on one side, and then the other one's got like a splodgy stripe and leaves. They're really pretty. They're just such a good basic to have. And what I've done, so I've got a thick white card base. I've got a pressed petal. So this is the pressed petals that I said that's reduced by half, 50% off. And the detail on it is amazing. So that's there. And then this is my layer. Let me get my bits. I'm just reassembling it because it's fallen. It's all fallen apart because it's been in that little basket. So let me just show you. So this is the layer. So if you can imagine, this size of layer is the same as this early espresso layer, and this white is going to go over the top. And what I've done is I've used the butterfly die. I'll just get that out. And the butterfly body. So you can see from where I've cut this that actually what it's done is it's given me a frame again, exactly like the last one. Got so many little bits with this one. Let's just get them all out. This is such a detailed die. I'm really sad this one's going, actually, because I often, if you just want a focal point, a butterfly is such a good element. And this is just so detailed. And you can see, because this has got it's like a splodgy pattern, it just gives great interest. And I've also cut out the butterfly body as well. So I'm just going to pop that over the top in a second. And basically what I did was I just made sure when I laid out my die that I had a border all the way around. Obviously, if I put the butterfly on it like that way, it comes right to the edge. So you do have to kind of fiddle around with it just to work out which way works best. But that is going to work perfectly with that layer over the top. So let's just pop that there. We just need the happy birthday. So this happy birthday is from this new stamp set. Lovely arrangements. If you're doing the December craft together, the video will be out next week. It's a recorded class. And this is actually the stamp set that I've used because I needed an open floral image. So when you receive your kit and it actually says that you want a flower thing, it's called Lovely Arrangements. This is the flower that I'm using. But look at that lovely happy birthday. And I just love these sentiments. They're just really nice. And this leaf is really cool. So I'm just going to use that now with Secrecy. I'm just hoping that this is actually going to stand out enough. This patterned paper is quite bold. So, ooh, hang on. I re-inked this earlier. Can you tell? Ugh. Maybe I over-inked it. Let's just try that again. All right. Okay. You do see me do this sometimes. I've been crafting for more than 30 years and I still over ink my ink pads. Can you see all the bubbles? So I just get carried away and I think, oh yeah, I'll just stamp that again. I'll just add a little bit more ink. There we go. And a little bit more is not good. I should have somebody in my craft room going, Amanda, no, that's enough. There we go. So let's just pop that there. Yes, brilliant. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so let's just pop that down. Ooh. Okay. So we can do a bit of assembly now. So again, I'm going to stick the gutted piece down first because obviously we've got all the holes. It's just easier to put your glue on. like so. I'm going to put the white layer on, and again, nobody's ever going to see. Oh, Judy's saying that she cuts each row of her white dimensionals in half. Yeah, you see, that's another really good top tip. Thanks, Judy. Okay, I'm going to put my butterfly on there. So I'm just going to stick down on the butterfly wing. Just there. Oh, she says, famous last words, a little bit further over actually, because I don't want it hanging off the card too much. And then I'm just going to put the body over the top. You get two sizes of butterfly body. Obviously I've got the darker one, the bigger one here. And then I'm just going to trim my happy birthday with my scissors. Make it into a flag end. And then I'm going to put a dimensional at the flag end and some Tombow glue at the other end. So this bit gets stuck down, this right hand side gets stuck down flat, and then this one is raised up. And again, it just gives it a little bit of dimension. But then you've saved yourself lots of patterned paper, because instead of using two pieces this size to cut it out, you're actually only going to use one. So there we go. So there are today's cards with the gutting technique. Did anybody, is this the name that you call it? Is it, or is this a new technique to you? Do let me know in the comments. I'm just going to slurp my tea for a moment. Obviously with this card, you can see now it's dried, where you've got a little bit of the colour wash with the water painter, but you could absolutely use the Wink of Stella. That would give it a really lovely kind of sparkly effect. But I just love the rustic nature of this. It's very rustic, very earthy. Thank you, Donna. Ah, Lorraine said she does that, but didn't know what it was called. See, when I was talking to some of my customers at card class a couple of weeks ago about this, because we made a similar card to this where we were punching out from the center. And I always have instructions on the table, and I talk about each of the cards as people get to them, because in this particular class, everybody moves around table to table. And lots of people had never even thought of punching from a layer underneath. And, you know, and there were people there who've been card making for a long time. So I think it's just one of those things that when you know, it makes so much more sense to do that. But the reality is we don't always remember everything. So, you know, so it's good. It's good to share with your crafty friends as well, because that means that they'll maximize their cardstock and patterned paper as well. Thank you so much, Stella. You are very welcome. Okay, so Just last couple of things. Everything that I've shown you today is available in my online store. If you head over to my blog, which is www.inspiringinking.com, you'll be able to click to my online store. You'll be able to sign up for my newsletters and creative inspiration there as well. If you sign up for the newsletter, you'll also get all the information about any special offers and things that are going on. Tomorrow, December the 10th. So obviously, if you're watching this on replay, it might not be December 10th tomorrow, but December 10th, 11th and 12th, 2025 is free shipping. It is a worldwide promotion. So if you're one of my international friends, just check the timings. But absolutely, it is a worldwide free shipping promotion, which starts tomorrow. So don't miss out, and absolutely don't miss out on the product of the month, because it is so cool. It is absolutely wonderful. And happy shopping. So take care. I will be back here next week. I'm going to have some sneak peek products to show you. Things are launching in January. And just so you know, next week, the 16th, will be the last Craft and Chat of the year, because the next two are the 23rd and the 30th. And I will be celebrating Christmas and not working. Well, not working very much. So next week will be the last one for this year, and then I will be back on the 6th of January, which is launch day for all of the new products. So I'll see you next week. Lots and lots of new stuff to show you. And take care of yourselves till then. See you soon. Goodbye.